When I joined you guys, I had no intention of doing this or of, I didn't even know it was multi-level marketing. I literally just needed to finish Insanity, and Julie told me to drink Shakeology, and I thought she was a weird salesperson, but I was desperate, and I decided I was going to do whatever she said, and I had full intention of sending back my Shakeology because she told me all about the bottom of the bag guarantee. That's literally why I'm here. And she said, you know what? You're cheap. If you keep it, you're going to want to be a coach because you get 25% off. And that was literally how I started. So I had no intention of doing anything with this, but what happened was my belief built. I started drinking Shakeology, and 2 weeks in, I was like, crap, I need this. This is making me feel better. She was right. And I totally was out to prove her wrong. And then I was part of a team. I didn't even know I was going to be part of a team. And I was like, here's a supportive community of people that were uplifting me. And so as that, at each step along the way, started changing my belief to where I was like, man, this is awesome. And I want to go share this with other people. Because I think that's what nice people do, is share things that are awesome. So that's when I kind of dug into, okay, how can I build this as a business and maximize it? Because my dream was always to get paid to do something I loved. So I'm like, we all got to go to work. We all got to get paid. So why not make it something that fills your cup at the same time? And that was exactly what this was for me. So from the beginning, even though I was very part-time, I treated it like a job. That's kind of just how I was raised. I don't do things halfway, almost to my detriment. But I think it really is vital in this business. If you want success, if it's like they say, if you want your business to pay you like a hobby, treat it like a hobby. If you want it to pay you like a business, you've got to treat it like a business. So that was exactly, to me, number one. You can do anything in this business, but you've got to treat it like the business you want it to treat you, back. Even as a kid, my dad would say, if you rake the yard, you can go to Six Flags. I'll give you some money to go to Six Flags. Well, we had a huge yard. And then I was like, well, I want my brothers to be able to go. I would end up raking the entire yard. It would take me like 2 days working 16 hours and I have all kind of blisters. But I think back and I'm like, what was I doing? I was treating it like a job. I was giving it everything I had. So when I became a coach, I decided to do the same thing. I'll tell you guys one other story really quick. I was a mortgage broker for a very short amount of time, which I don't recommend. Another great reason why you should be a Beachbody coach. Sorry if you're a mortgage broker. But it was the same thing. It was a 100% commission job. I went to that job Monday through Friday. Then I realized I wasn't still earning anything. I started going on Saturdays, staying late every single night. So what I started to realize was if I'm going to treat all of those other jobs, I was a waitress for 13 years. I worked every holiday. I worked open to close. I'm like, if I'm going to treat those jobs with that intensity, why would I not treat my own business, if not with an even greater intensity? Because this is actually something I'm immediately profiting from. So that was kind of my mindset from the get-go, and still is to this day. If my business isn't working, it's because I'm not working. Something needs to change. So I take full ownership of that. So that's point number one. Point number two, constantly checking my belief level. I don't know about you guys, but I am a belief-driven person. If I believe in something, I'm going to be like the biggest cheerleader. And if I don't, it's going to be really difficult for me. And I'm probably going to go to the door because I just need that authenticity in what I'm doing. So what can happen when you're doing anything for years? Your belief can waver. You can get tired. You can get burnt out. You can come across things that you don't agree with. That's definitely happened along my journey as a coach. But what I know is I have to protect my energy because like I said, what I believe in is what I promote and what I can speak about confidently. So I have to constantly evaluate, okay, where is my belief level or what is going on if I'm not feeling into this, if I'm feeling burnout. I'm constantly kind of self-evaluating my circumstances, what I am allowing myself to see or be around, or if my passion is waning, and that could be even a workout. I'm not one of those that thinks you need to do every single workout from start to finish, because I've been 30 days into a program and been like, man, I've lost my joy. I'm not into this. And the second I go back to one that lights my soul on fire, everything changes. I do believe you need to be doing a program, but I really think managing my energy and my belief is at the forefront. So whatever it takes for me to do that, that's what I do. I personally don't promote every single product. I promote the ones I'm using and that I believe in. We need to be using our own products because you're not going to be able to do that if you're not. But I just think it's really important to believe in what you're doing, because to me, that helps me not feel salesy, not get burnt out, and all of those things which are vital in it as a coach, and especially longevity as a coach. Okay, number 3.
Wait, Jessica.
Yes.
So just on that point, I think that, you know, the coaches that have been around a long time, we've seen, you know, people leave the business and go do a different business or start bashing Beachbody. And that, you know, can really, you know, bring you down. So what you were saying, protecting your mental state, you guys, you know, there's always going to be people that say negative things about our company. But you just got to like push it away, try not to be around it. If you get in a thread of people, you know, talking smack, then stay away from it, because it will hurt your mental game with this business.
100%. And I'm going to tell you guys one story that I haven't really told a lot of places, but I know y'all are upper level coaches. It can even be other coaches. So like one example I had, I'm not going to give specifics, but I went to like my very first leadership event. So I'm, you know, googly eyed and so excited and can't wait to be there. And then all of a sudden I saw these coaches that I had only seen online and only read their posts. And they were, to me, different people. And they were people I kind of didn't want to be a part of, some of the ways some people were acting. And so then all of a sudden, what did I realize when I got home? All of a sudden, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, man, why am I like not as excited about this? Like, I just came from this amazing event. I should be excited. But what I was doing was I was allowing their decisions to me, they were Beachbody. And I had to make a decision that they weren't they didn't have to be Beachbody. I got to, you know, it's my business. I get to choose how I want it to be. So I was able to I mean, it was a really hard lesson because it took me a minute to get there. But I think it's really important that, like I said, I had to manage my energy and my belief and realize, you know what, they can do their business their way, and they don't have to be a reflection of me. And I can make sure that I'm doing my business the way I want to and something I'm comfortable with, and can go make the Beachbody the way I want it to be to other people and represent what I want to represent, instead of maybe thinking, man, you know, they really rubbed me the wrong way and they're a top coach, not a top, you know, not talking about that's any type of top coach. But I had a really hard time with that, because like I said, belief is important to me. So if something does go negative, or even like Julie said, all of a sudden somebody that you did kind of follow and they go to another business, and then you're like, oh, wait, their business is not your business. And
I see it all the time with coaches that maybe are in a slump with their business. They'll start, you know, buddy up with somebody, and then they're both like, well, this isn't working for me. This isn't working for me. And then they get into a cycle of, you know, focusing on that rather than how do they turn their business around and make it more positive.
Totally.
Okay. Sorry. Point 3.
Okay. Number 3 was I accepted that challenges are where I find my strength. So I used to avoid challenges at all costs. I'm kind of a recovering perfectionist, and I thought that challenges were a bad thing or failing was a bad thing. So, but what I come to find out is I wasn't living. So really what I've enjoyed as a coach, and really what keeps me going all these years, is that challenges and failing is part of it. So I'm no longer weirded out or thinking like that means I got to quit, or that means this isn't for me, or that means I need to go put my business away for the next month because I'm going through a challenge. Mm-hmm. And instead I've realized it's actually the opposite. When I face my worst challenges or my toughest challenges, I need to lean in more to the community that they're supporting and believing in me. And I don't know about you guys, but especially I'll see challengers do it all the time. They disappear, you know, and then you're like, what is going on? And then they're like, oh my gosh, something terrible happened. I'm depressed. And I'm like, okay, well, are you still doing your workout? No. Are you still drinking your Shakeology? No. Are you still eating on plan? No. And then you wonder why your life is falling apart. Mm-hmm. So that is what I've definitely learned, is you're going to face challenges. You're going to go through terrible things if you're a coach for more than 5 minutes. But that doesn't mean you don't do your business. It actually means you lean in more to your business, because these are the tools that are going to help you get through.
Absolutely.
Okay, number 4, my last one. I realized that being me and being me consistently was actually my secret weapon. So that takes the pressure off, number 1, and it also makes it more fun. But once again, you have to remember to go back to number 2 and constantly check your belief and your energy level. But, you know, I spent a lot of time thinking to be a successful coach, I had to be someone else, or I had to do something else, or I had to do what so-and-so was doing. Luckily, I was a nerd and I still was doing everything Julie was telling me to do in addition to that. But I just thought, Julie must not know. I think I'm supposed to post recipes, or I think I'm supposed to do these things. And what I realized is, one, when you're not being authentic to who you are, it is one, it's stressful because it's not you. So you're having to put way more effort into your posts and what you're doing. But then also, it's not fun. You know, it's not sustainable either. So there was a point where I thought, like, all the top coaches, this was years ago, they're posting recipes. So I'm like, I've got to start posting recipes. So I'm Googling recipes. I'm like trying to buy people that will like find recipes for me. Because you guys, I don't cook at all. I like toast. I'm a really good toaster, and I make shakes. I can make a salad. I don't think that's cooking. So I'm like posting all these recipes. And then all of a sudden, people are asking me questions like, oh, does this taste good? Or wait a minute, are you sure it's a cup and not a tablespoon? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't make any of these, and I definitely didn't eat any of them. And then I was so stressed. It was like, I'm out of recipes, or what if the picture doesn't look good? And then I hired someone to find me recipes, and they didn't look good either. And it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't enjoyable, and it got me no business. Like, it didn't even work. So I'm like, wait, if I can just go be myself and do it in a consistent way where I'm on a journey, that's what I think this business, that's why I think it's amazing, because it's really about committing to your journey and then being yourself and doing it every single day. That's really what I do. I've looked for the secrets. You guys going to stop looking for the secret, because you're just going to get tired, and you still got to do your workout. You don't want to be that tired. You can only drink so much Energize. So that's why, to me, once I finally just embraced, guess what? I literally started thinking, anytime I'm like, that's weird, don't post it, that's exactly what I need to post, because that's me. So I started even taking notes. Like, anytime I thought, oh, that's weird, don't tell anybody you think that, I would write it down. Like, that's what I need to post. And when I would be amazed at how many people would either laugh or think that was them too. And it just makes it a lot more enjoyable. So those are my 4 tips.
Just one funny one just came to my mind. I remember when you posted, does anybody else's pee smell like coffee after drinking cafe latte?
It does.
Anybody? And I thought I was the only one, but then she posted that and it cracked me up. But I love your style. Like, you are totally you, and you, I guess, learned from that, and you have been super consistent, and, you know, you are always so uplifting, but also have a flair of sarcasm to you and humor. And I think, you know, people know what they're going to get with you because you've been so consistent with that for years. So awesome. Well, thank you for those tips. I mean, you have grown, you know, one of the most successful businesses in the industry, or in our, not industry, but within Beachbody, and yes, in the industry also. But, you know, you've done such a great job, and you guys, like, don't think that you can't exceed the person that brought you into this business, because, you know, if you have any thoughts of this being a pyramid and you can never reach where your sponsor is in the business, or where I am, or where, you know, Stephanie is, it's bull, because this girl has, like, far surpassed my business by 1 million times. Well, not by 1 million times, but by a lot. So, you know, this truly is your business, and you can do with it whatever you want. And anyway, so let's jump into some of the questions if you have a few more minutes. I know one of the biggest things that people wanted to know was a little bit about your sponsoring, where you're finding people, and how do you find people that actually want to work the business and not just want to sign up for a challenge or a discount, but actually want to work.
Yeah. Okay. So those are my favorite kind of people.
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite kind of people, right? What I think is really important is, well, number one, be a worker. If you want to attract a worker, you have to be a worker. I think a lot of times we want workers, but if you actually look in the mirror, we aren't working ourselves. So that's never going to work. But then number two, to me, what's really important is how you are inviting and speaking, and in the messaging. You know, in other words, I'm trying to lay out the cleanest picture of what it's going to look like if you are a worker. So I'm not inviting, I don't ever sell the discounts. I might fall back on the discount. I actually don't ever invite to a challenge group either. I'll fall back on my challenge group, but I lead always with the coaching opportunity, and with letting, like, people know it's work, it's sacrifice. Like, a lot of my social media is around struggle and finding your strength and, you know, all of those things. So I think that's what's really important, is laying that foundation first. You know, I see a lot of people's strategy seems to be dangling carrots. And if you dangle the carrot and then they get in, and they're probably not going to work. At least in my experience, I'd rather be straightforward with exactly what the kind of person I'm looking for, and lay out the expectations early. I don't recruit as many people. I don't have high numbers, but I've always wanted quality over quantity.
So are you like really just, you're only gearing towards trying to find working coaches? Like, you said you don't invite to challenge groups, but do you invite people that you don't think would be a good coach, but you still offer them the coaching opportunity and say this would be a great thing for you because it's a way to make money and also the community? Or like, how do you do that? Or do you just not invite those people that you don't think would make a good coach?
Yeah, I really just don't invite those people.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really just looking for like my target person. But some people will that, might follow me, might want to join, we might have that conversation. And then I will analyze, like if they're say brand new, like maybe they're completely cold, they don't know me and they're just at the beginning of their journey. And I'm afraid this conversation of coaching is going to freak them out. Then I'll start them as a challenger. So I will evaluate kind of within our conversation because I don't want them to just do nothing. But, I might mention the coaching, but even my messaging is about my team. So a lot of my messaging is dare to dream. You want to be a dare to dream coach, because I also don't want it to be about me as much, because I want to make sure I'm instilling in them from the beginning a belief that they can do this, that it's not like I'm doing it and maybe you can do that one day. You know what I mean? Because I think at least for me, I think making it more about the team has helped me a little more, even though they're following me and joining me. I try to just kind of preach the team a little bit more.
Okay, that brings up a really great point. But before I get to that, are you still, would you say that you're finding more people on, I know you're 100% social media, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Are you still using Facebook and Instagram? Are you leaning more towards Instagram these days, or where are you finding more?
I mean, I still love Facebook way more than Instagram, but I'm probably getting a lot of my new people from Instagram, but then immediately still trying to get them to come to Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you doing Instagram ads?
No, not right now. I mean, maybe before I got really sick.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not doing any ads at all. I mean, I will, like, what I really do, if I ever do anything, is promote a post. I get stressed out and like the ad editor or the ad manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I will every now and then promote a post, like maybe 3 days for $30 or something.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. But I probably need to go do that.
Okay. So in a like quickly nutshell, like your initial message to somebody that you meet on Instagram.
Well, it depends. Like if they're a new follow, and this is what I'm going to say. So I'm actually not going to tell you my exact message because I don't have one.
Okay.
But I will say, because this is what I just realized talking to some of my coaches, because even, like in trainings, you have kind of that copy paste message that you really don't want them to copy paste, but you've got to give them something. And what I'm learning is that I feel like, especially these times of social media, because they definitely changed,
mm-hmm.
you have to make a connection. So if you are sending these generic messages, I think it's just white noise. If you're using words, even like motivation, inspiration, dreams, goals, I think it's white noise now. So people are just not responding to those messages as much. So I think if there's any way you can connect on any kind of level where they see your personality immediately or get to know you a little bit immediately, where they feel connected to you, I think that's getting a far better return rate. So like, for example, my first Instagram message to say a new follower, I literally just tell them a little bit about myself, but I try to tell them like the weirdest things. So they either don't message me back or they're immediately like, I get you, or whatever. So it might be like, I toast English muffins. I iron English muffins. I blah, blah, blah. And I'm into fitness, work from home, because, I'll say just little tiny specific things that would make them want to message back instead of like, hi, I'm a health and fitness coach. Are you interested in joining my next challenge? White noise. Like, I feel like. Yeah,
that's really, really good advice. Because I'm not doing that.
I just started telling my coaches to do that. But what I also want them to do is make sure that, because people join you. So if I can't read a message and say, that's Margot, then it's not a good message.
Yeah. So my initial message should be something about like, I'm a mom of 5 kids. I'm a stepmom. I have a kid with special needs. I have a daughter that's graduating high school, going off to college, those types of things that are more personable.
Right. And I would include an emotion that, and maybe another mom of 5 might relate to. Like maybe
exhausted.
Yeah. Maybe you on the days I'm not pulling my hair out, I blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Because then they're going to be like, oh my God, you have a day you don't pull your hair out. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to immediately, now they're like, I already know Julie, instead of here's another message in my inbox.
Yeah. Are you on a fitness journey too?
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
So good. Very good. Okay. So you were just talking about how you point to your team all the time. So that is one thing that I totally admire about you, is you have created such an amazing team culture with Dare to Dream. How have you done that? And what can you say to the rest of us to help us in that department? Because I think we're all kind of struggling there.
Okay. So I think, for one, I definitely didn't know I was good at this. So it's like weird because it wasn't like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'll say, number one, is do not go on your own. So Julie, I was very fortunate because I was part of an amazing team and had an amazing mentor and leader. But I will say I literally branched off from Julie for one reason, and it was because I went full time, and I'm a crazy person. Unless you have a lot of, I don't know, the cojones and time and patience, because it was hard.
And you were also, what were you, like 3-star at the time?
I don't know. I know I was in the running for top 10. That was the last time. So this was like 2012.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like you were just a new
Yeah,
diamond.
I at least was a multiple star diamond.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, so I was very fortunate at that moment because, and I've had 2 coaches on my team ever of 10,000 plus people that have successfully branched off and created their team. So I'm not saying you can or you can't, but I'm just giving you my opinion, because I've also had a whole lot that did it that are no longer coaches or were extremely unsuccessful, or we ended up putting out so many fires and they burnt so many bridges. Because they just either didn't deliver, couldn't deliver. This is the number one thing I see happen. And not that this was the question, I'm just telling you guys this real quick. Number one thing I see happen is they have a very strong personality. And what happens when the people don't like that personality and you're a one-man show? There went the team. And that was exactly what happened, is a lot of these people, just ended up rubbing people the wrong way. And because they had no one else to relate to on the team, you know, because that's the benefit of a team. You bring somebody in, if they're like, well, Jessica is this way and I'm not really into that, but wait, so-and-so does this, wait, so-and-so does this, or I'm a man, you're a woman, you know, I'm a mom, you're not. There's so many things. So the power of a team to me is so powerful. So even now, I see coaches, they're like, I need a team name. I'm like, no, you need to go Emerald.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important. But So what I have done within the team is, like I said, I made sure it was not about me. It was not Jessica centered. I've really, really tried, and I don't even know if my team knows this or my coaches know this. I try really hard to make it Dare to Dream. Like, it's about a mission. I've created a mission statement. And I really just work really, really hard on emphasizing that this is what we are about, and to like link arms together, and we're stronger together, and even highlighting coaches on every single level to make them feel a part of it, whether they are a high, you know, because I was kind of with Ray Higdon a couple years back. I was, you know, took some of his courses, and he says one thing that really helped me, because what does it say? Spend the 80% of your time to top 20% of your people. That's what I want to do. I'm like, let's find the 20%ers. Like, this is going to be fun. And I really am not that interested in the 80%. And that was how I honestly felt, you know, like, I just want more of the 20%, because I'm like, imagine what we can do. But he was like, you know what, though, they make up 80% of your business.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do the business without them. You want them. If they're just product users, that's fine. You know, some people like, oh, working coaches. Well, guess what? The discount coaches still pay your paycheck. Mm-hmm. So I started kind of changing. I'm like, okay, I need to do more things to include more people, instead of just being like, you're either up here, you know, because I know there are some coaches I've heard that, you know, they don't even get to speak to their coach until they're Star Diamond or something.
Oh, wow.
So I make it really my mission to like kind of treat everybody the same, and make sure that I am following Beachbody's mission, that I help them achieve their goals to live a healthy and fulfilling life versus my goals for them. And when I started doing that, it kind of became more fun, because if you guys probably know, dragging dead weight uphill is just exhausting. And I've seen coaches lose their joy over that. So I'm very much, I'm very better now at letting people do what they want to do, and then continuing to spend my energy finding the people that want to really run with it.
Yeah. And I do notice that on your team, you have a very active team page, and there's a lot of people contributing. It's not the Jessica show. It's, everybody is contributing. And also I can see that there are relationships, forming that, it's not all about you. And there's, people maybe on different legs that they have something in common, and they're, are friends because of it. So it's really cool what you've done. Next question. This is another one that people wanted to know, like, what is your system for getting new coaches started, and how do you successfully get them going?
First, I want to comment on what Joy just said, be a contributor. Mm-hmm. That is the number one thing, you guys. When I joined Julie, I remember, you have no idea how long these coaches have been in the business. I remember just thinking everyone in this group must be successful and I'm new. Which is not, you guys know that's not true anymore. Once you're part of the team a little bit, you're like, wait, there can be people in here that don't even come in this group for like 5 years. But what I'm telling you is be a contributor. And then my coach will say, well, I don't think I have anything to offer. Okay, that is not good, because we need to know we have something to offer. And if we don't have something to offer, we need to go read our personal development until we do, or do our workout or work on us. And a lot of times, even almost every time still, if I do a post, I'm like, well, this is kind of pointless and it's not going to make a difference. And then you're like, I needed that. Thank you. But the best way to grow a team is to be a good team player where you're at right now. And what I know for myself is what I never wanted to happen, because I'm like, man, I don't want, like, when you don't have any coaches and you're recruiting and you're like, oh no, what if they find out they're like my second coach? And I'm like, join my team, we're awesome. And then you're like, here's my first coach, here's my second coach. So what I knew is in the team page, I knew I needed to be a contributor. I wanted them to see they joined me for a reason, because I'm going to be a huge part of this team, so that they see now they need to duplicate my efforts. If you're not participating in the team page, you wonder why you have no workers, because you're not a worker. Workers participate in the team page.
Such a good point.
Sorry. So back to how do I start my new coaches?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I do personally is, because I have set them up before they joined, this is about work. This is about, me matching their efforts as far as the business goes. And I tell them, look, if you are not asking me questions, then you are not growing your business. So I kind of put the ball in their court, because one thing I don't like is babysitting, like at all, even babies. So I decided that when I joined as a coach, I'm not the hand-holding kind of coach. So I try to set that expectation up, so I also don't disappoint them in case that's what they thought I was going to be. So I actually have just a new coach quick start training. So when they join, I immediately add them to the team page, get them all excited, give them access to the new coach quick start training, and let them know as soon as they finish, we can schedule our getting right call. So I don't have the call until they do that, which of course eliminates like 75%, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. So not saying that's the right way, that's just my way, because if not, I was just spending a lot of time on calls and they disappeared anyways. The call wasn't keeping them on board or not.
Right.
So that's probably how I would say I start them. And of course, they're in my challenge group. They're on their fitness journey. I'm emphasizing Shakeology. Every coach I start gets started with a challenge pack. I don't let people join for $40, and I just let them know I want them set up for success, because that's my job as their coach. Mm-hmm. And the way we succeed is with these tools. And because we want to be authentic. There's no way to be authentic without using the products. You can share in an authentic way.
Okay, awesome. What's your favorite personal development book for your new coaches?
Oh, for new coaches, not mine.
Well, that's the second part.
New coaches, probably GoPro, because I don't really love GoPro, but I feel like the number one mental roadblock is inviting or having confidence that we're in Muscle Level Marketing. So I do love his strategy about how honestly, it's his follow-up strategy. So that's the one that'd be probably my number one.
I need to go back and reread it. It's been a while since I have, but
who'll set the date, make sure they can watch it and then follow up. So I feel like just coaches aren't inviting and following up. So that's why I really like that book.
Okay. And do you have a favorite personally?
Relentless.
Oh gosh, I haven't read that one.
Oh my gosh, it's relentless.
Okay, cool. That'll be my next one. Okay, last question. Thank you so much for hanging in there. So as I said, this is, diamonds on this call, and we have some that are brand new diamonds that just hit it, a couple weeks ago. And we have some diamonds that have been diamond for years. So what's your number one advice to the brand new diamond? And what's your number one advice to the coach that's stuck at diamond or 1-star?
Okay, so it'd probably be the same, and it's go emerald over and over and over again. Even the other day, I was sitting there and I was thinking about my business, and I'm like, man, when I was going for diamond, I was like going for diamond. I'm like, I just need those 8 coaches. Like, I need those 2 emeralds. And I was so focused and really, really going. And then I was like, I don't really act that way anymore. Like, I don't give myself the same urgency or deadline. Mm-hmm. And what if I just went diamond again? It's the same with emerald. This business is literally about going emerald over and over again and helping other people do the same. So it's like, if you want your coach to go emerald, are you adding 2 coaches in that amount of time? So I just think it's really about doing, they say stay in phase 1 or whatever, but it's really about inviting. So to me also, the new business activity tracker is amazing. It literally, if you would just commit to doing that every day, I think there's 0 way you would not produce fruit. And if you are not producing fruit from that, then we've got to evaluate the message, because people must not think you're real. Mm-hmm. Because those are just literally, if you're doing those activities regularly, I don't think you can fail, honestly, because it's just going to compound over time. So my recommendation is stay in phase 1, invite, follow up. Do that more than anything. I have a lot of coaches, they go full time and they start doing all the activities that don't matter. Mm-hmm. So the difference that I did, because I did not want to go full time, because I was very scared, because I just was like, I have a solid income, and this, I just don't know if it's solid, because it just depends on me, or, who knows. But because I was so nervous, I was like, I'm just going to do more inviting, and that's it. So if you were to literally take 4 more hours of your day and invite and follow up in those 4 more hours, your business will blow up. If you take those 4 hours and you make really awesome graphics, then you will have really awesome graphics.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Very valuable information. And, we have it recorded, but you guys that are on the call are like super special, because you got to hear her live. And we're not sharing it with everybody. So anyways, really appreciate you. Love you so much. And that's it.
Thanks, guys. It was fun. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks. Go get some rest. Eat some more grapes.
Yes. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.